All right.
Basically, we left off what at MCT.
Oh yeah, so we finished MCT and then we graduated from there and then we went straight to MOS school. You went to warehouse. What was your MOS school called again? Your MOS?
Yeah, just supply.
The supply. And I went to I went to Armory School, which is at Aberdeen in Maryland. It was a couple of months. And then after you do all your thing and that's what we spoke about last episode. You go through all the schooling, the training. I went to an army base. Was yours an army base or yours is actual
a Marine base, Camp Lejeune. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because I'm pretty sure they run stuff very differently, right? They can't Anyway, so
hey, let me ask you something real quick. What's your favorite bar food?
Man, probably like
it's just bar food, bro. Just bar food.
I love bar food. All right, mozzarella sticks and wings.
Oh man, so you just mentioned one of the things I was just gonna tell you about. So why do you like wings or mozzarella sticks? Why is that like the go-to for bar food?
Man, mozzarella sticks just because I love cheese. But I don't know. I guess it's just the density of it. Like I could drink more, and I love that. I just love wings and mozzarella sticks. So I could eat more, and then I could drink more. And if I drink more,
a Buffalo Ranch guy or what kind of
blue cheese, man? I don't
blue cheese. Gross. I hate blue cheese.
I know a lot of people don't like blue cheese.
Yeah, I've ranched over blue cheese.
A lot of females don't like blue cheese. I found out. I find.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of female friends or don't really like blue cheese for something. It has nothing to do with it being like a female thing. I just find that a lot of females don't like blue cheese.
Maybe their hormones are like hell no.
That's probably a big thing too. Dairy, right? It fucks up with their skin and hormones and what have you.
I ain't gonna say that, and all the feminists come at me like, no, I ain't gonna say that.
No feminists gonna come after you because what are you telling us that we don't like blue cheese? I'm not saying all girls. I'm not saying all females. I'm just saying I find a lot of my friends who are females not liking blue cheese. But what happened? So the bar food.
So basically, I mentioned that because this week, we cooked our own mozzarella sticks, and I didn't know what the process was. I didn't know how easy it was, to be honest.
Oh, you actually made it?
Yeah, we didn't. I don't know if you call it scratch, but basically the mozzarella sticks already like store bought. Then you have to coat it in like the yolk or whatever, and then you coat it in the breading. Like it's basically whatever you put on that Parmesan chicken parm. So I didn't know, like I thought I could cook it right away, but the thing is, I guess you have to freeze them. So that's what I found interesting. I mean, wow, like I was like, okay, cool. That was like mozzarella sticks are super easy, super fun. I think, if you haven't did it at home, try it out because I didn't know it was easy.
I speaking of mozzarella sticks, I saw this thing where what do? You just bought it? Just comes in cheese sticks? And
no. So string cheese, like string cheese. Like,
you just bought string cheese.
I just bought
like in half.
Oh well, I think I should have cut in half, but it was super.
Super long mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, I mean it was cool though,
How'd it come out?
Like, oh yeah, so you have to freeze it. The freezing it is like the sacred ingredient that you need. Okay. Yeah, it's like very vital.
What do you think? Do you think it's just better to just buy those already frozen mozzarella sticks that are already breadcrumbed and just throwing that into
for my quick people that just wants to eat and doesn't want to take time on the food, then yeah. But if you have some time, then yeah, it's pretty cool. Like at least maybe the night before or something.
I saw this TikTok and it was like someone making fun. They're like, hey, something about appetizers and mozzarella sticks, and like, hey, do you want like 5-8 cheese sticks dipped in breadcrumbs and fried before you start your meal? That's what mozzarella sticks. They're just describing what mozzarella sticks are. It's a bunch of paleo. Do you want like 8 paleo cheese strings dipped in batter and deep fried before you eat your meal? It was just like that observation of you're eating a package of cheese sticks, paleo string cheese dipped in. I found it funny, but anyways.
sad fantasy. Yeah, I did it. Sorry, sorry, wasn't that funny?
I'll send you the TikTok. I'm doing
Yeah.
it. I'm not doing any justice to that creator. Yo, so on our one of the episodes on our YouTube for this podcast, Underwood. All right, so me and Ron had this discussion where I think he was wrong when we're discussing boot camp that your second phase that's where you went to the Crucible, right? And the end of second phase.
Oh, so Underwood cleared it. What he said? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it because I heard you just said Underwood. So I was like, what? Underwood.
Okay,
so here's a West Coast Marine. Let me hear this. Let me hear this.
Let me say. So we have a friend who's also a Marine and one of our good friends.
Stellar. He's a stellar.
He's a Marine. Like, he's top notch. And yeah, he said Ron's right. You guys.
Oh, you sure? You sure? Like, how you gonna question the guy that went to the West Coast?
You're very humble, but yo. So what happened is, Underwood said, "Yeah, Ron's right." In the West Coast at that time, I'm guessing during that time, Crucible was at the end of phase 2, and then you guys go back to the main part wherever you guys, were from. Yeah, and then start training on phase 3. Why doesn't that make sense to me? Because you have another whole phase. So you got your EGA at that. Right, so that means you become a Marine. So during that whole entire phase, you're just walking around as a Marine or as you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we're already Marines on the West Coast.
See, but now that's why they changed it. That's why they changed it to where you get that your EGA at the end and the Crucibles at the end, which makes more sense. That's how East Coast always did it.
Yeah, because you fulfilled the training. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How is that possible? Why,
It was possible. Just like the Impossible Burger, we're in there, baby. We're in there. True.
This made me think about, like, okay, during our time frame where Underwood, you, me, 2004, 2000, during that time frame, during the digital camis and all that stuff, introduced into new gear and all that stuff and new war. I think that was the time frame where they were trying to figure shit out for all of us. Like, all right, should we do this way? Should we do this way? We got to test it out, let's test out this new gear. Let's test out everything. And that's when I think we were in the transitioning period where it was just like all the schedule was just going like test. We're like test babies. We're always being tested on.
If you signed a contract to the military, you are a test baby. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. You are.
You're a government property, right? So now we graduated MOS school. We did MCT. We graduated boot camp, MCT, which is Marine Corps.
Where are you going
Marine combat training. And
I mean, bro, we said that like 7 times. I'm pretty sure everybody know what MCT is. Go ahead.
And MOS school and I'm gonna have to say MOS because you don't even know what it means.
What's it again? Military.
That's why I gotta repeat these. Military operation.
Operation.
Military occupational.
Oh, you don't even know, bro.
I'm military occupational
service.
It's not skill. It's not skill. Oh man, what's
specialty?
I gotta do it. I gotta correct it. You gotta correct it.
Marine, correct yourself. You try to question my MOS skills.
Take a guess what it is.
Military occupation specialty. I'm thinking specialty.
Yeah, specialty. It is specialty.
Oh,
I didn't see it, but I just remember it's specialty.
Yeah, and Family Feud, the family right here is killing your family.
I thought we're all fam. I thought we're on the same team.
No, if we're in Family Feud, if we're Family Feud and we had to hit the buzzer, like, yeah.
All right, so Underwood could be wrong too.
Hey, bro, I'm about to get him on here. Let's get him on here right now.
On here, man. He would love it. I would love Underwood here.
Yo, Underwood, next show for sure. I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach out to him for real.
We should. I mean, he's close by to me. Like, I don't want to say close.
He's in the same state, or
he's in Pennsylvania. in
How far is
Philly.
Pennsylvania from New
I
York?
don't, well, Pennsylvania is huge, but if he's in Philly, it's an hour and a half, which is fairly close. I should go see him.
Oh, yeah, I rode the
Or
train. I rode the train over there.
when I was in Cali, though, when I was in Cali, remember when I was in Cali just recently, he actually came
Yeah,
to
he was there.
he was in New York,
He was
and
in
I'm
New
like,
York.
wow,
Yeah.
the timing
Yeah.
is crazy. You know, he came to visit New York while I was in Cali, and then the day he was leaving, I came back the next day.
Just missed him.
Yeah, again, but
Yeah.
I gotta go down. I should go down to Philly and get some cheesesteaks and see him.
Oh, man, I went to those popular ones. What was it? Pat and then
Pat and
the one
Geno's,
next
yeah.
to yeah, Pep and Geno's.
You
I
been?
must
You been to
say,
Philly?
yeah, I must
Oh, what?
say, Pat's
That's
over
good.
Geno's, but honestly, they
I
weren't
like
the best Philly
I
cheesesteaks that I
like
ever
Pat's.
had.
I like Pat's over. I can't say over Geno's, but because I didn't really have Geno's, or I don't really remember it. But Pat's was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
But are
I
they
had it
better?
that
Of
day,
course.
bro. Yeah. Yeah, I had it that same day to test try because I like it's in the hood, not the hood of Philly, but it's in like a rough part of Philly.
Is it? But there's so many people that it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look that rough. I guess to me, I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. That's what they said.
Well, you're
That's what a
from,
lot of people
that's
said.
what I'm thinking. I think you're because the West Coast, like Cali, especially hood, looks
It's
very
hood,
different
hood.
from East
Oh,
Coast hood. East
yeah.
Coast hood looks scary,
I don't
bro.
know.
Like
Yeah, those
like
boroughs. Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
all it's all tall buildings, alleyways, so it looks a little more grim. The city looks
Or
grim regardless.
grimy, son. We grimy, son. Like what?
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
All
So
right.
we graduate from MOS school,
Yeah,
military
let's just talk about
occupational.
what you going there, baby. All right. We got MOS, MCT out the way. Let's just talk about the fleet. Get into the fleet already.
Yeah, now we're in the fleet. This is what almost a year. Some people a little over a year, but almost a year of training. Your first year in the Marine Corps of just getting you prepared to go into the fleet. And the fleet is where all the main battle units, combat units, everything. That's like the body of the Marine Corps. Some people don't get to actually go to the fleet right away. They get to go to what they don't get. Like it's not a chance thing, but anyways, they sometimes even for infantry. Okay, this is what I've learned. People who are infantry, after they graduate school of infantry SOI, they go to like security force.
Oh,
Or
that's
they go
cool.
to security force, and they'll guard like submarines for the Navy at like in Portland, Oregon, or something like somewhere in the Northwest. And
Yeah.
'cause I met some security Marines. I'm like, oh, what the hell is security force? And they're like, oh, straight out of boot camp, you get selected, and we get you go to like a naval base, and you guard shit basically, submarines
That's
and
pretty
stuff like
dope.
that.
That's
But
pretty dope.
that and you do that for like a year, right? But what they told me was that okay, it's not that great for them because they wanted to be in the fleet. They wanted like because they're infantry, and they wanted to be they wanted to go to Iraq, and they wanted to go to they wanted to be in the shit in the units and stuff like that.
Right.
But so that's one thing that they told me. But majority of them, and I mean majority, but a lot of them that told me. And another thing is that if you, after SOI, I believe you go to you can also go to what's that place called? Like what's that shit called? Like guarding the president,
Oh,
and that's for
MSG.
security.
Yeah,
Yeah,
MSG.
there's MSG, and then there's also security forces for certain things like and that's not MSG. That's when you see lance corporals and PFCs that I don't know necessarily PFCs, but not because
Lances were
MSG is Marine Corps Security Guard, right?
Mhm.
Marine Security Guard,
Yeah.
which is you're guarding people like the president, embassies around the world, but you got to be an NCO. And that's when you see on the news and you see like a corporal or sergeant, and they're in the White House or embassy. Those are MSG most of the time, right? They're on MSG duty. But however, there's people in SOI that I believe they go, and you could tell if they're in SOI or straight out of school if they have like one ribbon. Normally people on MSG already
You're a true boot. You're a true boot.
yeah, and
What's
then PFC.
that ribbon? National defense. I think it was just a national defense ribbon, huh?
Yeah, that's when you're first. Everyone gets that, right? National
Yeah.
Defense Ribbon. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a part. Is it a participation award? It's a big shit that if it is, you're participating in something crazy. You know what I mean? Because people, all right, because you can't, because okay, I don't like participation awards like for kids. You know, like hey, everybody gets an award. No, I don't believe in that. I believe in hey, if you win, you earn this. You know, you earned it. I look at how do you look at the national defense? It is like this. It's like
I look at it as like, hey man, like a ribbon's a ribbon, a thing that doesn't make you like stellar marine. It doesn't matter how your stack is, but national defense, I feel like, yeah, that one singled out specific ribbon doesn't matter. You earned it. So
that's cool. I like that. Yeah, because you actually
you did.
that's okay. All right. Well, that could go against what I. No, you know why? Because that could go against what I said about like kids receiving the participation award, meaning, you know, they still earned in the sense that they played the game or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. But to me, like it's always a winning and learning thing, especially when you're in that young age. So participation award, if you show up to practice, you definitely participate. But there's some people I remember like growing up playing sports that they just show up to the game and like they're like, to me that's not cool. Like you need to practice. But
okay.
so yeah,
how about how do you
fleet, bro?
wait real quick? How do you feel about how do you feel about like the bench then, like in NBA, and everybody gets a ring?
That's funny that you brought that. I just mentioned that to my wife. So same thing. The starters have to practice with somebody. So like they definitely earned that ring. So we talked about, hey, what if you were injured the whole year and you didn't really practice and you got a ring? Is that cool? I think it is still. I think it is
part of the
because
team. You got injured.
yeah.
You got injured. You know, well, if you
So
got, especially if you got injured while training,
because you didn't practice, so you didn't practice. So should you get a ring because you got injured? Like, I mean, injuries are part of the game. Yeah, you're part of the team, and injuries are part of the game. So,
yeah, I like that. All right, so now we're going into the
fleet. I like that.
Yeah, we're going into the fleet. I was excited. For me, I graduated. I was excited.
Nice.
I had my 2 sea bags and another, I believe another, just a regular bag, a duffel bag or something like that. So I had like 3 bags. I just remember it was very uncomfortable trying to hold everything. I traveled in my
Alphas,
civies from Maryland to to Palm Springs Airport. I traveled in my civies, which is civilian attire, and then once I got to the USO in Palm Springs, I changed over. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Thinking I was gonna get picked up. So here's where everything fucked up for me. Like we said, 311, our unit just got back from Iraq, and they went to the field after that too. Like I believe they went on leave, and then they came back and they went to the field right away.
Okay.
And nobody was home. Nobody was on base. Like they were all no one was. Everyone's in the fucking field. They forgot about me. And I went to the US, so I changed into Alphas, and I forgot what something told me to, like, I'm like, yo, I called 311 because nobody was coming. I believe I somehow got in contact with the unit. I called the base.
How long did you wait? How long did you wait at the airport?
I forgot. Like I think a little bit because I saw other people getting picked up. I think
other Marines, or
I'm not sure. I think I was. I don't know.
No, they pick up the whole. Yeah,
I would have went with them. I think I was the only one I remember. And then I'm
a group. Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, well, I think somebody told me just you gotta take the boot. I was just so new, I didn't know of the boot. You know, hey, there you go. I was a boot, and I'm like, all right. So I found out how to get from Palm Springs Airport to 29 Palms. Dude, it's far. Like it's how long is
it's a 45-minute drive. So on that Highway 62, yeah, it's a 45-minute drive from Palm Springs.
I had to take public transportation. This is 2004. There was no Uber, and I didn't have money like that. Just get a cab. So I had to take public transportation. I took public. I didn't take Greyhound. I took fucking public California in the desert public transportation. I don't even know if that exists.
Yeah, I
It does. I had to
yeah.
take like
You walk to the
fucking.
bus. Yeah.
I had to take. I don't know how many buses I had to take, but it took me all day, bro. I landed
Wow.
somewhere in the mid morning, I believe, and I got to 29 Palms like at 10 p.m. or something like that. 11, like
No
late,
way.
bro. It took me like 12
Jeez.
hours. I remember I was in my alphas traveling with my 2 sea bags, heavy as shit, and my other bag, and I'm waiting. I'm like waiting at the, and I'm a boot. I'm such a boot. The closer I got to the last bus, I went to was near in Yucca Valley. The last bus was in Yucca Valley, and it was the last bus I had to take from Yucca Valley to 20 going into 29 Palms, and it was right by the Walmart. You know, the closest Walmart
Yep,
by
yep,
29 Palms,
yeah, that's our
and that's where I
super
was.
mall.
I was waiting there. I'm just so excited there because I'm like, finally, I'm near our area. Dude, it took me so long just to get there, bro. It was insane. And I'm waiting at the bus stop at night, and it was freaking chilly. It was a little chilly. It was December, and I'm such a boot that I know this is the area because I see Marines. I think, you know, I see like a lot. It's a lot more civilians around, like a lot more population going around. So as a boot, I'm just standing there in my alphas with my sea bags. I kind of don't want them to touch the floor, but I believe like a lot of times I was holding them,
Oh
just
my
waiting
god.
there at like the attention, bro.
Oh my god, you are
Not
super boot. Yeah.
yeah, that's how like I was, not like a full attention, but like
What a big square.
I was, yeah, I was, and and the square in definition, like my shoulders were squared, chest out, just standing there. And this is how I traveled from from Palm Springs Airport all the way to 29 Palms because I didn't want to get my ass chewed.
Jesus. Right.
You know,
You
and
don't
that's
know
how
who's a little.
exactly, brother. And I
Oh my god.
yeah, bro. I just remember I said this is fucking horrible. But then again, when I got to base, I was ecstatic. I was just like, wow, because like I just see Marines, like, you know, whether they're in camis or just in civvies, and they had like high antennas. I'm like, wow, because I came from an army base,
Yeah.
so I didn't really get that full effect of being around
Marine.
actual, you know,
Yeah.
Marine Corps, like home. This is my like, you know, going and this where going somewhere where it's like, wow, everyone's just like you now. Before our army, you know, we're very conflicting kind of. And I just had my little school friends, like, you know, school Marines who were also students. So we, you know, it wasn't the real thing.
Yeah.
But being around the real thing, that's the fleet, you know, and that was the experience. Obviously, I got dropped off at the PX.
Oh, sick.
Oh, no. Oh, dude, this is what happened. I'm such an asshole. I can't believe I forgot about this guy. At that bus station.
Oh, Yucca Valley?
At the bus station, a pickup truck came.
Uh-huh.
And it was some white dude with a high and tight, and he was like, obviously I was a Marine. He's like, hey, what are you doing? You know, it was like, you know, and he told me he's 29 Palms. He's a Marine and he'll take me. Obviously, he could have murdered me. I believed him, and I put my sea bags in the back of his pickup, hopped in, and he dropped me off at the PX because he didn't know where 311 was. He's like, I don't know where 311 headquarters is, but I'm pretty sure. He was like, I'm pretty sure it's by the PX, you know. And you could, you know, I was like, yeah, just drop me off at the PX then. So I got off by the PX area.
The office is far from the PX.
It's fairly far. It's all right. It's like what?
It's a distance,
like a 4-minute walk, 5-minute. No way, was it?
Yeah, I think it was a 10-minute walk, bro.
I know that you didn't need a car.
Yeah, you could walk it.
Obviously,
it's like 15 minutes. But with sea bags though, damn, I don't know. Yeah,
this is what I remember for the PX to our headquarters. It took me a long time because I was asking people like, "Do you know where 311 is? Do you know where 311 is headquarters? Do you know?"
Oh, you are super boot.
Yeah, I'm walking around like an asshole. Yeah, and I'm walking
experience.
I'm like asking people, and then someone's like, "Yeah, I walked down past this parking garage. That was a structure."
Yeah.
If you hit that parking garage, you've gone too far. It's like, so I went and I saw the sign for 311, that our emblem.
Yeah.
And it said 311. battery with
Artillery.
the artillery and all that stuff. It was crazy. And then I went into the office. I looked around, and then it was I saw the staff NCO SNCO on duty, the duty hut,
Right.
and I remember walking there. I dropped my book, and I reported. I reported a fucking boot. Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. How'd you report? Let's hear it.
I forgot. I just remember I reported. I was just so nervous. I was nervous because I saw the duty NCO. It was
could have been your boss. Could have been your boss.
No, it wasn't. It was either I forgot. It was either an officer or a staff NCO, and I believe it was an officer because he didn't know a butter bar. And I didn't know what he was. I think he didn't know what he was doing because he was like nobody's here.
Let's pause. Let's pause. Let's give the audience what a butter bar is, because a lot of people don't know that definition. So you talk about a boot enlisted Marine. A boot enlisted officer is a gold second lieutenant bar. So that's what butter bar is. Go ahead, continue.
Which is the same, almost the same. Well, in the mentality of not knowing what's happening, it's the same mentality as a private, maybe, right? Because you don't really know.
Yeah, because it's 01 E1. Yeah,
regardless, you're a boot. You still have to learn shit like from the basic stuff. So he was like, nobody's here.
Nobody's
here. I was like, what are you? I was so confused. Like, what do you mean no one's here? Like, they're in the field, and I didn't really understand the meaning. I believe I didn't really understand the meaning of field
at the time.
At that time, right? Because we were like, what the fuck is a field? Like, kind of like,
oh, what's this? Like, it's so curious. Like, ooh.
Anyway, so he told me what to do. He assigned me a room with this corporal. Ooh. That's why it didn't make even more sense.
What was your rank at the time?
PFC.
Oh, okay.
So he put me in a room with the corporal, and he was confused too. And he was actually one of the Marines that stayed back and had to watch the shop or something. I forgot what shop he was with, but somewhere in like S2 or something. I think he was in Intel. S2 is Intel, I believe. And
it is.
And yeah, so he was cool though. He was really cool. He didn't give a fuck. But obviously, like I think a day or two later, they took him out, put him into another room, or a week. I forgot, but it wasn't long.
They took him out of your room. Oh wow.
Yeah, they out of his room, and they gave me that room. They took him out and put him somewhere else. I don't know where he went. I never saw him after that. I probably did, but I don't. I was so new that I don't. So many faces. I just But yeah, he was cool. Just a funny thing. I just wanted to mention he was talking with his girlfriend at that time, and I'm just like, I have nothing, bro. I had my own little DVD player that you could open up and watch DVDs on. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Every Marine had that, right?
Portable DVD player.
I love that shit. I used to watch 50 First Dates.
Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, that was like one of my.
That's my wife's favorite movie. Yeah.
At my MLS code before I go to sleep, I used to watch that just to go to sleep. Put it on.
Hopelessly romantic love story kind of guy. Did you used to build waffles? Did you build waffles?
Stupid. No, I used to punch girls in the head so they forgot.
Damn!
I'm joking.
We don't condone domestic violence here, and I don't do that.
Yo, so I used to watch that, and I used to have my DVD player, and so I was just sit there. Like I had nothing to do, bro. I mean, I was and he was talking with his girlfriend. He'll be like arguing about. Not like a real like a deep argument, but it's just like laughing about he puts lotion on his body. And I guess she was making fun of him, like, that's gay, And he's like, Kim, he goes like this to me. He goes, Kim, do you put lotion on your body? Is putting lotion on your body gay? And I'm like, I'm just like, nah, no, corporal.
No, corporal. Did you put too?
Did you put lotion on your body? Of course, corporal. Like, of course, but I do. It's body lotion. I mean, that girl, she's being ridiculous. Why is putting lotion on your body gay? It's called body lotion. You need to put. It's just for she was ridiculous.
I don't know. A lot of people use it. In the Marine Corps. Yeah, lotion's a little different for a lot of people. if you know what I mean.
Which part of the body, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, so that yeah, so that was like my first day, bro. That was like my first night, or
Man,
well,
your first whole day.
yeah, leaving MOS school to just going into base, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa,
That
it
sounds
was
like
an
a
experience.
jacked up experience. That sounds jacked.
It was an experience. But it was also it was memorable. I wish somebody picked me up.
That's what you wanted to
And then,
that's your takeaway. That's your takeaway from there.
how was your do you remember going
Oh,
from MLS to
yeah,
it was
yeah.
yeah.
So I went from Lejeune. I'm trying to think if I gotta leave or something like that because no, I don't think I did. So I yeah, I don't think I did because I went straight to Palm Springs. It was daytime. So I want to say I changed in my alpha suits. I really don't remember, but for sure I remember I had to have my alphas on. So then I actually got picked up. So there was yeah, there was a couple of us actually because it was cool from my actual school. Some of us went to the same unit and everything, um, which
Oh,
is
okay, so
rare.
you had
Yeah.
oh, is that rare? Why is that rare? I would
Oh, I don't know.
um
I thought like because usually like if you're in a buddy program, then that's cool. But like they literally had our air like couple of us from different parts in Lejeune because there was different schools in Lejeune too. I didn't know that either at the time. And then
oh, okay.
yeah, so then we were like we weren't all supply. It was just like some of us were S1 or something else. But basically they were just different MOS. I can't remember at the time. So we all arrived in our alphas, we were in a group. It
You
was
guys
a
oh, you
long
did you leave school with your alphas on? You
no, no,
traveled with
no.
your alphas?
I don't like that part. I don't remember. I really don't. I just
You
remember
got
having the alphas in
uh-huh.
Palm Springs at the airport, and then we were all in the bus, and we stopped at Yucca too. Like that was like one of our first stops. So it was a van or a bus. I can't. I think it was a van, but basically, yeah, somebody coordinated the whole thing. They picked us up, and yeah, I got to the station right before they came back from Iraq. So that was kind of cool. So basically, we were the clean, like the small crew. Like we were just a really skeleton crew because uh, it was funny because the one guy like there's like a couple of guys in supply and like oh yes we got an extra body and it was cool because we all talk oh yeah and then yeah I did actually come with my homeboy Ant Smith, shout out to him. It was me, him,
I
and
remember
Grosso, I think. Yeah, yeah,
I
so it was
love
us
Grosso
three.
too.
Yeah, so it was like the
Funny guy.
trio. Yeah, so Grosso from Washington,
Hilarious, bro.
white
Hilarious.
dude, straight square, like
He's
always want to
hilarious,
be
bro.
in the flavor, like like
I loved him. He was such a good he was such a
yeah,
good he was good
his
energy, man. He was good energy.
yeah,
He was in good vibes, man. He always had good vibes. If
and
anything,
then
he must like feel like he's always like stoned. He was a stoner, maybe.
yeah, he was from Washington. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure he was a stoner.
you
Yeah,
know, he was
yeah,
like very chilled, man. He was such a chill dude. It's funny.
yeah, yeah,
The girls that I knew, I guess, like
yeah, yeah.
meaning
Super
his
goofy.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
funny
but
man.
me and him, like we bumped heads a lot. I think because
Oh, did you?
personalities, yeah, we're
Well,
both
yeah,
alphas.
you guys see each other every day,
Every
working.
day, bro, working every day. So
You're gonna
yeah, yeah. So then
so that's
me and then Smith came and that's my homeboy. He's actually went to Marine security guard at the time when we were in the
oh yeah.
fleet. Yeah, so that's his storyline. But basically it was cool because we were just like all excited to be there. We're like, damn, we're really doing this for this, just like you're feeling like we're in the fleet. And I just remember because it was a good, I want to say a month or it was a short time before the whole 311 came back from the Iraq.
Mhm.
So just that experience, like when getting to know each other. So it like going on base, seeing the chow hall, like that first morning waking up, because I arrived when it was dark. So all you see is just like yellow street lights. You don't really see the base. You just see a bunch of lights. So at
Yeah.
night. So
Because
then
it's in the desert, right? Mind you, 29 Palms is in the middle of the desert, and there's nothing. There's really no light pollution, and you can see obviously from distances bright lights.
yeah,
So
so then it was just crazy
the
how like
city,
that first morning you wake up there's palm trees, there's buildings, there's a tennis court. Like, I just popped out of my room, looked out, and I said, "Wow, I'm gonna live here for the next 4 years." It's like, okay, cool. Because I was just excited to be in California. Because, like I said, I'm from the Bay Area, so I was like, cool. It's just a drive away in my head, but it's a far ass drive away.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, I was far, obviously, on the opposite end of the country, from East Coast to West Coast. I loved it, man. I woke up the next morning and I was like, "Whoa, this is beautiful." It was beautiful to me. I'm from New
Yeah,
York City, bro. And seeing the desert and the sunrise, I was like, "This is
yeah.
crazy." That's my experience when going to 29 Palm Springs, arriving at Palm Springs Airport. It was my first time seeing palm trees.
Oh, okay.
Like I had so much adrenaline, like so much and dopamine or whatever, endorphins, just rushing out of my brain
Yeah.
that I was just like that travel. It sucked, but it was still like very exciting. Took a long time, bro. I remember I
For
arrived
you,
in the
it
morning.
sounds like,
God damn,
dang. Yeah.
that travel. I earned it. I earned to go to that. Maybe that's why I loved it so much. Like, man, it took me not just from boot camp, like starting from boot camp to base. It was for me, I think was like, fuck, that was a journey, man. It was a journey. Just from starting from boot camp all the way to finally checking into my room and putting my
Yeah.
sea bags down and like, I'm here. This is my next, like you
Uh,
said, my next 4 years. This is home.
yeah. This is
Yeah,
home.
unless
Like,
unless in like 2 years, after 2 years, 'cause I did think about like in the second year or close to the second year, I did think about going to a different either MOS or like a billet,
yeah.
like snipe, like like something weird, like because that's what I was introduced to. I forgot Sassar and Sherry. He was like telling me about other billets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just got, I was just thinking about it at that time, but obviously I didn't. I love 29 pounds. People tell you that's what I'm saying. I think if people ever tell you, oh, this don't go to this place, it sucks, or don't go
Like
to
your homeboy, huh? Like your homeboy.
you know, yeah, and that goes with any apply that to principle or anything. Like you're talking to somebody that has no experience in it. That this it was just word of mouth that 29 Palms sucked. It was
Nah,
actually
it does. It doesn't. It
doesn't
doesn't. It's
doesn't.
because we're like one of the bases that we're one of the units that go to the field tons. Like, I think every month, and that field experience in artillery is much needed for training. And I feel like it can't get real as that, like, unless you're in country. But other than that, yeah. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I love 29 Palms compared to like I visited Pendleton and stuff. Like Pendleton's huge in the sense like both bases are
huge.
huge, but the
Mhm.
main side is where like where your units the PX groceries
22 air wingers. There's like so many different units over
well,
there. Yeah.
the main side is where, like, for on a base, if you say where's main side, that's like where the main portion of the base is, where like the PX, the food, like all the fast food, restaurants, movie theater. That's the main side where all the people populate. Pendleton, from what I saw, was that there's a bunch of main sides, right?
Yeah.
There's
Uh-huh.
a bunch of main sides, and I found that very like, wow, that's huge. It was too much. It was overwhelming for me. What I
Mm.
liked about 29 Palms, it was just one main side, one
Yeah.
PX, one this, one that, one movie theater, one where everybody on base um, gathers to
Yeah.
do their shopping or whatever, to do normal human things, and the rest, everything else is training, range,
Barracks.
barracks,
Units.
motor pools, AAVs, LAVs,
Armory.
armory, it's just all other stuff. So main side is all that, and I like that it was that one little. Every time I got to main side, whether we walk from our barracks, I liked it because it was like more car. It was like a little town. It was like a little
Yeah.
town, and I like that feeling. I always loved it for some reason. And I always passed by the movie theater.
Yeah.
I did weird things, man. Like not weird things in the sense. It's weird is that like maybe other people did think of that, but weird in the sense that that's how every time I walked through, I deliberately crossed through the field, the soccer, the football slash
Oh,
soccer
yeah, yeah,
field.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that
Go
thing
to
was
the
huge.
from headquarters, yeah, across the field to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And
That
I
was your
love
walk.
crossing
Oh, that
the
was the route.
yeah, I loved it because like if I walking from the gym back to the base, on the left side is where the PX and every thing is down there,
Yeah.
and also and then I'm on the field and you could see like the kids playing soccer, and it was like normality, like it was just so normal, and I like
Yeah.
that experience. It's just like seeing regular kids playing soccer and sports, and all that military was like kind of drowned out, and it was like dark, and it only had the floodlights on, so that's like kind of what you see. I just like, I don't know, that's like the stuff that I remember, like that I love seeing, the
No, that's
normality
cool.
of
That's cool.
human life. It was really cool. I liked it, and that's why I'm saying, like, anyways, Pendleton is huge though. 29 Palms, huge too, but main side one. I don't know if they probably made more, probably, because
Well,
where.
yeah, you went to the PX. You went to the big old PX in Pendleton, right?
Yeah, I went to Pendleton. I visited last time when I went to visit Cali. I visited Pendleton to the PX. There was nothing there. I mean, I didn't really look around, but as soon as you get on to
There's
main
nothing
side,
there, but this man bought the whole Marine swag. What you mean? There's nothing there? Oh, there's
no,
like in the
meaning,
area. Oh, I thought the
yeah,
store.
it
I
was
was
just
like, you buy
one
hella
giant.
stuff.
It was just one giant, massive PX building. That was it.
Like
And
a
I was
big Costco, like a big Costco or what?
yeah, something like that. Something like a big Costco, like
Oh,
a big
okay.
mall, or like more like a Costco, more like just like a big.
Or like a Walmart or something.
Yeah, like a Walmart. It's just a big block of, look
Of
a little
a
more
big
grand to
block
me.
of yeah.
Building,
Hey,
like
that's crazy.
it's just a big block, nothing really designed to it. But anyway, it was cool. 29 pounds. I miss it. I miss 29 pounds, and it smells.
So yeah, so let's talk about when oh yeah, it always sells. Like
Does it smell that? All right, hey,
describe that
all right,
smell. Let's see like how close or descriptive you could describe that
yeah.
smell. Lake Bandini. It's called Lake Bandini.
Why is it called Lake Bandini again?
I
I
don't know,
remember.
sir. I know you're gonna ask you that. I was like, I wasn't ready for that. I was like, I knew he's gonna ask that, but I don't know the answer to that question.
I was told once. I remember why I was called Bandini.
Yeah.
I forget. I'll look it up. But anyways, so it's a water reservoir. We're out in the middle of the desert. 29 Palms. The base itself is a mini. The base itself is just a mini city,
Right.
or a city, and that's where our sewage and all our. I don't know where our water supply comes from. I hope it's not from there.
It could be.
It could be. But I know that's where our sewage goes, right? Because that's why it
Well,
smells.
I
I don't
guess.
know.
So,
I don't know that.
that
I don't know
smells like
the
it just
logistics of it.
smells rotten. Like the air.
It
There's
smells like
something
sewage. It
about that
smells like
smell.
sewage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Like a
smells like
sewage
sewage.
sewer. Yeah. Yeah.
Sewer. It smells like sewer. And that's what I'm guessing. I can't confirm, but I'm just guessing that that's where our sewage goes, and that's where they all the chemicals
Yeah.
or whatever microbes to eat all the bacteria, and then they filter it out with LED lights, I
Hey,
guess.
so talk about when you went to like yeah, so when you went to your unit, you met Staff Sergeant Chevy right away, or he was in Iraq and then he came?
So the next day, they told I believe it was the office, whoever the NCO was, SNCO was telling me that I had to report to the armory. So it's like, oh, meaning like,
Oh,
what's your MOS? It's like, what shop are you with? I believe I didn't know what shop. Like, what do you mean shop? I'm in the armory, and then I'm in the armory. It's like, okay, the armory is building, I think 1440, if I remember.
ooh,
I don't know why that number.
I don't know. I
That
don't
number
know. Is it? It sounds pretty accurate, but yeah.
pretty accurate, right? I'm that's just a number that's coming to my head. I'm not trying to remember it. I'm just saying if I had to guess, wow, guess 1440 was the building number.
If some brain
And
cells had to click, huh?
it's in the storage file. And then I went there in the next day. Oh, I went to formation.
Oh yeah, because we always have a
Yeah,
formation in the morning. Yep.
yeah, they told me where to go report at 8 a.m. I believe it was 7:30 or 8 a.m.
7:45, fool. 7:45.
7:45, 15 minutes prior. Anything you do in the Marine Corps, you better be 15 minutes.
15 minutes
If
prior.
they tell you 8 a.m. 0800, you better be there 0745. Right? All right. All right. So yeah, I was there early. I remember I was there early because I was just
Super
alone,
fresh, super booty.
super fresh, just standing there alone. Everybody has
High
groups.
school, the first day.
Every, it was
Everybody's
my
in a
high
group,
school.
and where'd you go? You
My
go
high
into
school
the wall, or what'd you do?
my high school experience was different. My brother took me because
Okay.
he knew a lot of people there, and then they took me inside.
So you already gave you the blessing. You already had friends.
Yeah, so my high school was like that, but this was my high school experience, I guess. In that sense, I was just the freshman, uh, the new guy, and like
Yeah, so you were staring a lot like this, or you were parade dress, or what you doing?
I was just trying. Yeah, I remember this. I remember just trying not to attract any attention. You know,
Low
everybody had
profile.
yeah, everybody had groups. I'm very sociable. I believe. What do you call that?
Yeah, you are.
Extrovert. I'm very extrovert, so I would make eye contact with other PFCs. At least.
You're like, let me go by ranking because I don't have to call him anything.
Yeah, but I had to look. I wore glasses at that time before I had surgery, and then I would have to like look and like see who's PFC, and I just stood by myself. I don't want to attract too much unwanted attention. So anyways,
Right.
formation came, and then we did formation. That was like my first time. Like,
Solid.
I remember I was like, where do I stand? They're like, there was no order. They're like,
Oh,
just right. And then
yeah.
they told me to stand there. I was such a boot. Looking back, what a boot. But they took care of me. When you go there, it was very nerve wracking for me. I think not nerve wracking in the sense like I was having anxiety, but it was just like
Yeah.
nervous. It was
Yeah.
nerve. I was a little nervous because I didn't know anything. Nobody
Yeah.
told me what to do. There was no SOP. Like I didn't have no
On a
orders.
formation.
I'm such a boot that I need to be told what to do.
Yeah. You're
Step
programmed
by
that way.
step.
You're programmed that
Yeah,
way.
like tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like boom, go get me this, and it's like impossible mission. I'll still do it.
Right.
That's how we're programmed.
Right.
And so, anyways, that worked out. That all worked out, and I don't know why my thing is popping up. Anyways, I got to the armory.
Nice.
It was a gate. There was a gate. It was open, and
Knocked on the
uh,
door.
it was just this big. The armory has this big steel, thick metal doors, man.
Oof.
I don't know if it's steel, but it's heavy metal doors, and
Right.
and then like there's a little hole, a
Peephole.
metal
Little peephole. Yeah. Yeah.
plate that you flip down, and there's bars, and then that's how you talk to the person,
Yeah.
and you're
That's how
like,
you talk to
and I'm like, boom, 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 like hello, like, and then somebody comes, and then like, I'm like, new armor, and
New armor? New armor? You guys order armor over here?
yeah, like they're like, what the fuck, confused because they didn't expect me. They're like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, this is awesome then. This is awesome.
The whole shop was in the field except for I believe it was. Damn, I forgot this kid's name. He's a skinny kid, but skinny white kid, and
Okay.
it was this DeSantos. Yeah, there's another other. I believe he was Mexican, right? DeSantos, cool guy. Both of them cool.
All right.
And what happened is that they sleep there. That when people, I found this place fucking awesome. So it was like this cage. I told you it was like there's no windows unless you open the giant steel little metal doors that acts as windows that you could put your weapons through, to give to the Marines. But the point is that when I got inside, it was just cages of all weapons. I was like, wow, this is a real armory, because I was like all trained for this shit. I'm like, this
Yeah.
it smells like CLP in there,
Oh,
smells like gunpowder and like gun, like resin, like from being carbon, I smell like carbon and
yeah.
CLP in there, and then other shit. And the headquarter cage, there's a bigger cage where the headquarters, where the boss is. That cage
Yeah.
they brought in, since they had to sleep there because they're on duty, they just sleep there. And instead of sleeping in the barracks, they go back to the barracks to shower. And I found that so fun. Like, I'm like, what? That's so cool. And they had a TV.
Sleepover.
And it was like the TV. There's a cot. There was a couple of cots,
Yeah.
blankets, comfy. There was a TV, Xbox. It was the first Xbox ever. The first Xbox, the first one. It was like black with the green. And it was that Xbox, I believe, or some gaming system console.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is how work is gonna be like. Obviously,
This
it
is
wasn't.
how
It was
work
just,
is gonna be like.
yeah, and it wasn't. But it was just because they were in the field. Everybody was in the field, and they were, the what do you call them? What do you call people when you're left back? Like everybody else goes to the field, and you're gonna be like,
I don't
you
know,
know, what I'm
but
talking about. You know, what I'm talking about it.
yeah, I was always that guy though. I don't know, but I was.
It was great to be that guy sometimes.
I
It
was
was great.
that guy all the time.
Hey, we're the unit's going to like the whole battalion's going in the field. What are they called?
But we just need you to stay back. I just remember they used to
Yeah,
say that.
you need to. Every shop has to leave back at least one person to maintain.
Depends on what.
Yeah, 1 to 2 people, meaning depending on the job and what's needed, but they need to leave back people because they need operations to still run. And because
is it called garrison? No, but I don't know.
no, we're garrison when we're on when we're not in
sorry.
when we're,
It just
when
that
we're
word
not
came.
in combat, when we're not in theater, we're in garrison. Man, yeah. Well, okay. Hopefully somebody could tell us in the comments, or I don't know how hard it's gonna be looking that up. It's gonna be difficult. I just gotta ask somebody.
Ooh. All right, next show.
Yeah.
One of us.
We'll come back with that. What do you call it? A straggler? No, it's not a straggler.
No, it's not straggler. It's lucky. I don't know. Lucky. I don't know what you want to, because I love the field. I just
love the
thought
field.
like, yeah, me too. I mean, and you're gonna go to the field. It's just that my billet was the warehouse chief, so obviously you can't send the chief, So
well, they sent Stetson Chevy. He was the armory chief. He went out. He went out, and he was cool, man. Yeah, he did. He was always he would go. He stayed back though a lot too. He stayed back a lot. Obviously, he's the chief.
Shout out to Star Chevy. Describe this man because he is super dope. He's like,
yeah, that's so.
If I had a boss, like my boss was cool too. Like, don't get me wrong, all my bosses were cool. Shout out to y'all too. But Staff Sergeant Chevy, he straight SoCal. What, Pomona? He's from Pomona or something like that. Pomona. He's from Pomona. He's a vato. He's down. Like he's down for the La Raza. Shout out to you, Staff Sergeant Chevy.
If I was a young devil pup, he raised me to be a devil dog.
A Marine, a Marine man, devil dog.
Yeah,
wow,
he took me in. I mean, he said, he's like, oh, you're my protege. I remember. So he came back. Everybody came back from the field. And that's when I first. Oh, he's the staff sergeant. He's the boss. He's the armory chief.
Oh,
yeah. Fucking. And I remember every time he was like, he said to, can somebody tell us, Kim, stop, don't parade rest when we're in the shop, or I'm gonna like smack him or punch him in his mouth. He threatened me, physically threatened me. And he's like, I remember saying that because I was in parade rest every time. Of course,
every time. Because you don't know. Yeah, I got you.
Especially, but we're in the shop though. And we're in the shop. When you're in the shop, we don't we don't have time.
Very informal. It's very informal. It's very informal.
Yeah, when we're out in headquarters or when we're outside of shop, and I'm, I'll parade rest, but not if we're like in a school circle, like smoking. Of course, there's times where Eddie.
So when did you have to? Yeah, but when did you have to get that out of your system though? Like after all these parade rests, it took a couple of weeks, couple of months. What? It should have only took like a month because that's our Chevy's super cool. Like,
I think he said that. He said that the first day. He said that the first time I met him.
Oh, so then you just dropped all your.
I had to. He told me. Stop that shit. Yeah. I mean, he didn't tell me why, but I understood why later. It's like, there's no. We gotta communicate fast and talk, and we're a lot closer. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you don't parade. I stopped ever parade rest when I spoke with him. No, I parade rest to him. I respect the man, and that so I did parade rest, especially in front of his peers. 100%, 100%, in front of his peers, outside the shop, especially in front of his peers. I don't talk to him. Even in the shop, I still talk to him. With utmost respect. Like, hey, stats are, but obviously a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
A lot more stuff that I could say to him, than versus another staff sergeant or another some
Yeah.
random NCO. He was my,
Yeah.
because I didn't have nobody else above me in my
Yeah.
command.
Oh wow.
There was no corporal armor. Oh,
Oh.
there were two, but they got arrested for stealing
Oh.
two rifles.
Oh, I didn't know you want to say all that. I knew that, but I was like, oh, you're
I'm
gonna put
telling
it out
you.
there. You're gonna put it
No,
out
that's
there.
right. Yeah, of course I'm gonna put it out
Yeah.
there. It's the truth.
Yeah.
And they got arrested. So the two corporals that I had in the
Sloppy
beginning
Marines.
were gone. Like, they're and I was a PFC. And my next were Lance Corporals. But they
Yeah.
were
Let's
not
pause there. So let's talk about military jail. It's called the Brig.
were
So they went to the
were-
Brig. But go ahead, continue. Go ahead. My bad. I just want to say
and
that.
yeah, so they went to the brick. And the other Lance Corporals that I had were, they're Lance Corporal. I wouldn't say they were stellar Marines. I'm not saying I was a stellar Marine
Ooh.
either, but
We're not
it
calling
wasn't.
you bags either.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they weren't NCOs
Yeah.
who yelled at me, guided me, or whatever. You know how NCOs
Right.
were supposed to do.
Motivators.
My
Yep.
NCO, my real NCO that's above me was Staff Sergeant Chevy, who was also the Army chief, who was also my boss, and I owned my own cage. My cage was my cage. Like,
Wow.
actually, that's not even how it worked for me. That's how it works for armors. You're assigned to your own cage. That means you have there's one company and one armor for one company. That's it. And you're in charge of that cage. I was one over, meaning if there was only 5 armors needed, I was number 6, right? And
you're a backup.
so,
You're the backup.
yeah, that's why they did. So that's why Stats Sergeant, he was telling me, I was like, yeah, nobody. Who picked you up? He was like, who picked you up? It's like, nobody fucking picked me up. He was like, yeah, you're not even supposed to be here. Another thing, my first day, Stats Sergeant,
he said, who picked you up?
I was like, how the hell did you get? Who? He looked at the. Where'd you get? Who are you, basically? And he's like, anyway, Stats Sergeant is very welcoming. He obviously saw it. And he was like, all right, I like this kid. But anyway, he took me out to the smoke. We were all smoking. Smoke break, everyone. Smoke break, and we all go out smoke break, and we're all smoking. That's when, I stand parade rest, and I'm smoking with my. I don't know what I was fucking doing. It's like, get the fuck out of here! What are you doing?
Super boot. Yeah.
If because he was asking me questions. So what he would do though, he would ask me about MOS school. Hey, is who's to come? Hey, who's
who's leading? Who's the instructor? Who's the instructor?
Yeah, who's the instructor? Oh, is somebody? This guy there? And I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about and I responded. I knew some of the people he was talking about, and all the questions he was asking, and he was like, oh, yeah. I was like, all right. And then I believe I think it was like a couple of weeks later, or like a long time later, he told me, hey, remember when you first came here? Or like a while later, he told me, like, remember when you first came here? Yeah, I asked you. Oh, because I think somebody else new came later on, years later, a couple of years later, somebody new came, and he's like, hey, you know why I asked you those questions? Remember when I asked you all those questions about MOS school? I was like, oh yeah. I was like, that's weird. And he's like, yeah, because sometimes they send officers here dressed up as boots, undercover, right? And we're basically undercover
officers,
police,
like an auditor,
just to see what's going, because we're in charge of a lot of serial numbers, like a lot of weapons. We're in charge of a lot of important social security numbers.
So basically, they said internal affairs, like something like that.
It's known. I'm not saying that he's saying they did that before to them, but
he was questioning, like, hey, who's your instructor? Like, see, that's why I said Chevy's smart.
He's in there. He knows. He was like, hey, yeah. So yeah, he was teaching me that. He was like, be careful. Not be careful, but understand those things happen.
Yeah.
Understand.
Don't sleep. Don't sleep on the job and things like that.
This is the fucking United States government we're talking about. Listen,
yeah.
we're the creator of CIA, the creator of, we're the creator
Mm,
of this stuff, and
yeah,
and
yeah.
and you're in it, and to not think that you're not going to be crossing paths with amongst these people, these types of people, these ghosts,
Yeah.
you're silly at best.
I guess, man, that's
You're
crazy.
being yeah. Um, so that was like, oh shit, that's really good. And then and then later, you get those fucking two assholes um get caught for stealing those rifles, and you have shit like that.
Yeah,
So understandably, and so rightfully so, that this shit happens.
yeah,
That they
yeah.
do send in undercover officers, and that'll be funny though if that undercover officer couldn't explain, like,
What
yeah,
instructor?
oh yeah, I know that instructor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That instructor doesn't never even exist. Like,
Oh,
oh no.
yep.
And you're
Got
caught.
caught with your pants down. Yep.
Yeah. So that was the thing. So that was one of the things that was my first day. That was my first day with Staff Sergeant. Not my
Damn,
first
that's
day.
a
They came back from the field like 3 days later.
uh,
Staff Sergeant was all clean, and then we had our I right after that, like I think like a couple of weeks after that, he held I had my first uniform inspection in
oh,
Alphas, which was
oh.
odd. It was my first and last one ever. Look at
Yeah,
that
I think it was
battalion, right?
battalion or battery. I don't remember if it
Right.
was a
Yeah,
headquarters thing.
you're
I
right. It
remember,
was.
yeah, we did something like, cause like it was when it was stuff like that, it had to be First Sergeant Schindler's command, cause like
Right? It was somebody
no,
above
yeah,
Sasson Chevy, because Sasson Chevy was a bit busy person,
yeah,
and
he
to
ain't got
be
time for that.
told yeah, he would tell, keep your shit, but he trusted us. He trusted us. He would tell it. It's
Yeah.
not like he never told us not to do something, but he told it like he never told us don't keep your shit squared away. No, he kept telling us you gotta keep your shit squared away. When time comes for inspection, that shit better be squared away. And these motherfuckers in the shop were not squared away, and that's why I said they're not that
Mm,
stellar. My shit was always squared away. As much as I didn't have need to be inspected and stuff like that,
or
my shit
or
was.
told or nothing like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't. You know how I am. I'm very like.
OCD.
I what I had from boot camp. MOS school, when we had to do all our inspections and have our so in the Marine Corps, we have to have our shirts folded in
Labeled.
in a square, in a certain in a ruler size. You have to have your shirts folded and squared away like that and stacked up. That's how it was for MLS school, and labeled, tagged with a stamp with
Yeah,
your last name. Every shirt, and it had to be, and you had the inspection shirts. You had your
yeah.
shirts that you wore,
It's
and
your everydays, and then you
yeah,
had your
and then
like,
you had the
oh,
inspection. Oh, okay. In uniform. That's so weird, but it's not weird. I mean, weird. And when I say weird, don't take it as in like weird bad. When I say weird, I think weird is great. When I call anything weird,
yeah.
no, that doesn't mean sex. That doesn't make sense. Scratch that. Because it could be
You're
weird
great. You're a
and bad.
weird, great guy.
Yeah.
You're a
So
weird guy.
we have inspection shirts, like inspection stuff, where we just keep it for inspection, and then we have the shit that we actually wear. And I always had that. I maintained it because it was so
Yeah.
squared away. I traveled with that shit. I traveled with all my squared away stuff, and I kept it nicely. Everything was
Damn.
all my shit was always squared away, just in case somebody
Ooh.
came in and said inspection. Nah, just in case. Somebody
No, I don't know.
anybody can do that. NCOs, they can come out, where's your
Oh yeah,
inspection
yeah,
right now. You could do that to any Marine under you.
yeah.
Hey, put on your alphas right now, inspection. Fuck it. Whatever. You could do inspect anything.
Ooh.
Your nails, your hands, inspection. The fuck is wrong with you? You gotta cut your nails. Keep your
Yeah,
nails
yeah,
trimmed.
yeah.
All that stuff. These are inspections, right? So I was always, I believe I was always squared away. At that time I couldn't grow facial hair.
Yeah.
I rarely shaved. Did you shave?
Yeah.
I rarely
Yeah.
shaved, bro.
Oh no, yeah. I always had. I get
You,
hairy, so yeah.
you got little
But
stubbles.
then I kept my stash. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was yeah, because
I
my
remember.
thing was like, bro, like I already knew the regulations on the stash. The thing was it couldn't go
Can't pass your lips.
beyond your lips. Yeah. So I don't want to reference Hitler, but the mustache didn't look appealing. So it was like a Hitler stash, but I'm not gonna reference that. Like, but
No, yeah,
basically, I just say
it's not a Hitler stash. Hitler stash right here.
it's like a Pringles guy. All right, like the
Uh,
Pringles guy.
no, Pringles stash is
Yeah,
motherfuckers
I
like
don't know,
this.
but basically, it's like it goes there. So,
Well, you have a stash right now, so it's like it's not past
yeah,
your
but
lip. You
look,
just can't.
yeah,
You can't pass
yeah.
your lip.
Yeah,
You
so
can't
that's
pass
how
your
it
lip.
was. It could pass your lip. So that's yeah. When you talk
I
about
remember
shaving,
you
that's
always
what I
used to
mean.
rock the stash. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, you always had the stash,
yeah,
but it was shaved. It was cut off. I
yeah.
remember.
So yeah, my experience was like that first day working and everything. Right away, they hit me with a bunch of stuff. Like, hey man, we want you to learn this, 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 this. I said, all right, cool. So it was three of us. Like I said, it was my boy Grosso, it was Smith. So Um, secretly, I found out later they were all trying to figure out who would take over as a warehouse chief. So they were all grooming us all three. And like I said, if you give me a task, like I'm very like like I have an engineer mentality where okay, let's pick apart the pieces. Like so, they would give us task and let us figure it out. Like they would just and then they would add something. Hey, you might want to do it this way. Like they would watch us and observe, and they knew that team building exercise, things like that, leadership. Obviously, I killed all that stuff because not to say that Smith or Grosso wasn't like that. It's just that you know what's funny? There were two Lances, I think, and I was a PFC at the
I
time or
remember.
private. I forgot. Yeah, so
Yeah,
they ranked
yeah,
up before
I remember
me, but I was the guy in charge, so they had to respect me.
that. Oh
And
yeah,
that
that's
I think
right.
yeah, so that's why they were kind of bitter at the same time too. But at the same time, like um,
That's
my
how it
staff sergeant
goes.
yeah, my staff sergeant just got pinned to Gunny. So Gunny Lee,
You
he
know?
was just like,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
yeah. So
Lee.
he was a hard charger. This guy, he had the
I remember.
horseshoe haircut, Stella Marine, great
I
shape,
remember Lee.
like hard ass. So everybody in supply, he groomed you. Like he basically said, do the right. I see this even stuck to me this day. His quote was, "Do the right thing even when nobody's looking," and
Yeah,
that
of
I
course.
swear stuck resonated through my whole career, through my life because it's true. We could get away with stealing stuff like that because the only thing that could see you is the eye in the sky or whatever. So staff Gunny Lee at the time, like yeah, and the thing was he was getting out. So there was so many things that was happening where somebody has to take it because the corporal in charge was damn, I can't remember his name, but I just remember he had a red eclipse. I forgot. But he was from Arizona or he was close by. So he groomed me because he was the guy. He would like anything he could tell you where a missing pencil was and he would tell you in the warehouse. So uh I kind of mimicked my work ethic through him because I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna do this, and he was super chill. Like he like imports, he was trying to tell us like, yeah, this is one of the best bases, 311. He just kept saying that everything you're doing here, it's the place to be. And man, I can't believe I can't remember his name. So I feel so bad now. I'm gonna have to remember that name. But basically, he took me under his wing, and I was the warehouse chief at a PFC level. And what was funny is when they all left, Gunny, staff sergeant, and who's the staff sergeant in charge? And then they would walk inside, talk to my staff sergeant, and then the staff sergeant would be like, yeah, that guy's in charge. He's been here X amount of years. He knows everything. So like, don't talk to me about this stuff. Like, go talk to
Yeah, I don't
Lance
know.
Corporal Linus. Lance Corporal Linus knows that. And I
That's
was
funny.
super, yeah, it's funny. And then like, then they had their change of it. Cause like, I like, okay, I'm gonna give you 10 supplies, this is that. Like, I would talk to him in a professional manner. Like, okay, Gunny, like, is that all right? And then like, oh, okay. So people got my name got around the unit fast, like obviously,
Mhm.
because when you're supply, people want the gear. So what's
Yeah, I
crazy
mean,
is my warehouse was right here and the armory shop was right across the street. And that's
yeah.
why we're kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, so our shop was right next to each other. So the armory can't be around anything. So you just see like just a big block of building in the dirt and a little parking area. And we go up the little slight hill. There's your little
Big warehouse, like a big old
what's that
platform. Oh,
what's that
like
platform
a
thing called? Like
like
where
a
the
like a
trucks.
bay.
yeah, like a truck bay, like where the gates are and stuff like that, and that's where. So you just kind of walk right up there, and if I go outside to the front or even the back of the armory to smoke or whatever, you could see, you could see the armory. I mean, the supply shop. And if I see you guys outside your bay doors, I'll walk up and we'll shoot the shit, And we also had the roach coach, the gut truck.
Oh yeah, so that was the first food truck. Like we used to call it the roach coach.
Yeah, the roach coach. It's like one of those pickup trucks with like a metal box on the back of the pickup truck, and if they open the thing up, is hot foods like hot sandwiches, burritos, drinks, hot pickles, those spicy pickles. I love it. It was like shit food, but it was cheap. It was $1 or whatever.
Around 11:30, huh? 11:30, they roll up every time.
Yeah, or in the morning sometimes too. But that's where they'll come right in, right to your little bay. And
they would honk that horn.
Everyone else, that's where we see each other. That was fun, man. I had a good time, man. A little, got a little, what's it called? Disconnected a little. Are you there?
Oh, like just yeah, I'm there. It was just a lag.
Yeah, hold on. Say something.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Something.
Well, no, because I couldn't hear you when you were talking. But anyway, so yeah, you get the roach coat. Just little things, man. You know what? I think a lot of people didn't know about was the fast food chow hall. Do you remember the fast? The fast food chow hall. Do you remember that?
To me, it's a hidden gem. Like
it is hidden, right?
Yeah. So was it hidden? Was there like 2 or 3 chow halls, or it was just one?
I know there was one chow hall,
the biggest one,
the main chow hall. There's one main chow hall in 29 Palms, and then there's one other. There's a fast food chow hall.
Yeah, that's just to go only.
Like all the way by Com. It wasn't to go only because you could still eat there, but most people did to go. And in the why that fast food chow hall was so fucking great. It was fast food stuff. Like in the breakfast it had egg McMuffins. Like bacon, egg, and sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin. It was cool, and hash brown and a drink to go. And it was just like it was
free. Oh, free!
It was free.
And I remember you had to pay. If you had to pay, it was like $3, $3 or $4.
Yeah, it was really cheap. Even if you didn't have if you weren't if you weren't
you didn't have a meal card or something.
Meal card, yeah. And I used to love that shit. And then the lunchtime was burgers, obviously burgers and fries, which was all right. It was fine.
But then some days was steaks. Some days was like,
that's the regular chow hall. In the regular chow hall, in the regular chow hall, I don't know. It's just something about mass-produced food that I don't like. Whether it's school cafeteria, chow hall, anywhere, even in college, I hate when food and like buffets, certain buffets.
You're not buffet. Yeah, you're certain buffet kind of person.
Yeah, like Vegas buffets, I love Vegas buffets. They do it right.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta try Caesars. I don't know how to pronounce it. But the buffet at Caesars, the best.
Yeah,
top notch. It's the best. I don't care what anybody says.
Been there? Yeah, I've been there.
No. When was the last time you've been there?
A while. But in the beginning, we used to go to Vegas a lot. Just because.
Yeah, of course. Our base was. Well, first of all, our base was fairly close. Not fairly close, but
I want to say like 2 hours. No, 2 hours, bro. It was pretty close.
If you went the back road,
Amboy Road, hell yeah, that's what I used to go to. Amboy, the hills like this.
Yo, Staff Sergeant used to drop me off sometimes at Vegas Airport.
To go to New York.
Yeah, I'm such a stupid because it was cheaper, and I would pay him like, hey, you want to make, and he would just. I'll pay him like $60. He didn't ask for it. I just gave him gas money and stuff like that, and bought him meals. And he drove me to fucking Vegas Airport, and he would drive me back.
What?
Yeah. He's a dude, man. He drove me a lot of places, man. He did a lot for me, man. He did a lot for me. Not just driving me to fucking airports or wherever. He did a lot for me in training.
Mentor. Yeah, true mentor, true great. Yeah,
taught me everything. He sent me like to train, like Sears. He sent me to Okinawa. Like he sent me to. I wanted to go to Iraq so bad. I wanted to like. I had this. There was a part of me in my head, in the time of my fleet in my career in the Marines, I was thinking, damn, I might not get a chance to go to Iraq, you know?
Oh yeah, so me too. Like it was already gonna be our third going on to fourth year, and I was like, oh, I'm about to be
Yeah,
out.
yeah. This is it. Like I was in Okinawa. He sent me on a UDP, which is great. I loved it. You know, I'm like,
Lucky. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I wanted to go to Iraq though, even if it was to go with Underwood. Underwood went to Iraq with, I believe it was India.
Or
I'm not
Mike.
sure.
I forgot
I
it
think it
was
was Mike.
Mike or
I think it
yeah.
was Mike.
I
I
think
think
it
it
was
was
Mike.
Mike because they went to the prison. They had
Yeah.
to do prison
Yeah.
duty.
They're detainees or
Yeah, they had to do, and Underwood would tell me some cool stuff, about I don't know, whatever stuff that he did.
oh yeah, like how to put some how to get some
I don't
close
know, just all
range.
the stuff that they had to do, night and day, whatever. But like the prison duty, they had to watch, potentially they were terrorists, right? They were caught,
Right.
and so I was like, I remember I missed that one. I was like, damn, I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Somebody else got attached to that. Another armor went with them, I believe, because I wanted to go so bad. I was like, I didn't
Every
like beg.
opportunity, huh? Every opportunity,
Yeah,
you're like,
multiple
oh, no.
opportunities missed. That wasn't the first one either. There was before that was like a few. Everybody was just going to Iraq, man.
Yeah.
It was like the thing
Everybody.
to do. Yeah, it was 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
That was our time frame, and
So
then
many.
everybody was
Yeah.
going. Everybody was going. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
When's
because I remember when we first got there, they kept telling us like, all right, because like the people that were coming back, that was their maybe third or second time, like from a 4-year span. So I was
Yeah.
just like,
Well, the whole unit
wow,
just got back.
yeah.
The
So
whole unit.
so the gossip was like, oh, we might go back because we're artillery. So
As a
like
unit,
we
right?
didn't.
As a whole unit.
Yeah,
Remember?
that was the rumor, right? That was a rumor
We
for a
were no,
long
it
time.
wasn't a rumor. It wasn't a rumor. It was saying to get ready. We're on standby. We were on the whole unit was on standby. I remember that because I was amped.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
still a boot, and they were like, they just got back. They're gonna train for another a year maybe, or 6-7 months, and then go right back. And I was like, whoa! And then I was just always on that. What they did though was send batteries. They just sent batteries and
My
special
battalion, yeah.
and even I believe it was Aguilar, Caesar, the Forward Observers group. They got sent to Iraq too.
Yeah.
On their own. They got hit IEDs. They saw fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And so you always have friends that were going. And I'm like,
You're leaving.
fuck.
Yeah, me and you, we were never
I was
going.
like,
Yeah.
put me in, coach. I was like that feeling. Put me in.
Yeah.
I'm ready. That's the mentality I had. I'm ready. I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
For years. I went to Okinawa. Great time, man. I had a great time. I loved it. I was excited. It was my first deployment, still deployment, overseas deployment. So I got some ribbons. Went there, and this was near the end of my deployment. I was in the armory there in Okinawa. I already went to mainland Mount Fuji. I went to train Thai Marines, and I'll tell you some more about that later. But anyways, we went near the end of the deployment. I was on my email. I remember receiving an email from Staff Sergeant Chevy because he knew how bad I wanted to go. This was already my third year. Yeah, it's my third year, and he knew how I wanted to go to Iraq. I'm always put me on, and he emailed me. He goes, it said like, hey, 27 is forming a new platoon called Truck Platoon. He gave me the details, and then he ended it with, and they're looking for volunteers. He's like, do you want to go to Iraq and be an IED catcher, something like that, as a joke, because that's what we're. If you're at that time,
IEDs were hot,
hot, and to be on the road, to volunteer for something called Truck Platoon was a little nerve wracking, but I was like, I just responded, I'm fucking in. I'm down 100%. I'm in. I just said yes. I was so fucking excited. I was so excited I was excited to leave Okinawa, first of all, because I was like nearing the end of the deployment, because I wanted to go home. I'm like, tired of this. Bored of it. And then I'm just like so excited. Now, once I get back, he emailed me back. All right, once you get back, you're as soon as I get back, I'm assigned to 27. We're going straight into training to go to deploy again. So as soon as I got back, and I was what's that thing called? Advanced. I was an advanced team. If I deployed to Okinawa, I went with like a special group first, like 10 people before the unit comes, and we set up everything. I set up the armory. They set up whatever, and then I would leave early too to do the same. So I got to leave early, and which is great because it made it in time for training to meet everybody, and I was in time for that. As soon as I got back, I squared myself away. I think I went on leave for a little bit, came back, went straight into training for Iraq. We got into truck platoon, and then we trained another 6 months, I believe, and then or maybe less than 6 months.
Yeah.
Yo, I think less than 6 months because I got back from Okinawa, I believe September. So October, November, December, January, February, around 4 months of training.
Yeah. But
something like that.
let me pause you there because this truck platoon had all the homies. So it was funny because obviously it's already like your third year, my third year, and we all have a friendship. We all have we were the guy.
Going into our fourth year. It was going into our final year, we should say. We were seniors in that sense. If we were looking at a college, freshman, sophomore, junior, we were in our senior year.
But even our senior year, like we just had a lot of seniority. Like this fool Kim, he was in charge of his armory. I was in charge of supply. We had another good buddy that was in charge of S1. So us young devil pups were the guys in charge, and so that's why our names were solidified. Like,
well, that was even before our senior year. It was like sophomore year was our year where our second year we were in charge.
You're in charge. Like, you're in charge. Not me.
I was in charge. Everybody else, like again, everybody else was with batteries. I was in charge with if Sasson Chevy was obviously the armory chief.
Yeah.
But he would be always.
But you were like the lead. You were like the lead, basically.
Yeah, I was the next guy. So every time I had custodians, though, don't get that. Custodians are under me, though. I had a corporal who was a custodian.
Yeah.
But I was still like, if he was a nurse, I was a doctor. I still signed off on stuff. I was in charge of the armory, no matter what. Even though he was a corporal, but I thought it was a little weird. It's a little weird, because that's why First Sergeant Schindler, I missed. Sasson Chevy was away. I don't know where he was. Because there was a time period where remember, it was like us. We were in charge of it. Like I had to take care of this shit. Like I'm like, oh my god, and I'm doing staff NCO duties, right. Which is like normal shit. I mean, I just made sure all the weapons were there, make sure all the cages were up, maintained, and everything was the whole. I was management, making sure everything was fucking running smooth. Whoever called and asked for this and that, like first sergeant, whatever. I just remember one time, I'm sitting on Staff Sergeant Chevy's office desk chair and everything, chilling. I get a call, pick up. 311 Armory. This is Lance Corporal Kim. Blah 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 blah. Right? How may I help you, sir, ma'am, sir? And it's like, Kim, where's Kim? This Kim? And I know First Sergeant Schindler's voice.
Yeah.
Yes, First Sergeant. He goes, why the fuck is Dental calling me? Say that you didn't make it to your appointment. He hated that shit. He hated when we missed our appointments. I never missed my fucking appointments. I was just so busy. I don't know what happened. And I missed it. And I'm like, fuck. He goes, that's fucking right. Who's your NCO there? Because he knows I'm in charge there. Is there an NCO there? And I forgot what's his name. Corporal. Oh, he's such a cool corporal too. He was a really cool dude. I told him, I was like, yes. And he goes like this. No, first sergeant goes like this. He goes like, go in the fucking he told me, go in the fucking push-up position till I call you back. And he goes, and then he goes, is that NCO there? And I'm like, yes, first sergeant. And I call corporal, hey, corporal, because he's in another cage, in his cage. He's a custodian. And he comes, he goes, hey, what's up? And I was like, first sergeant. He goes, yes, first sergeant. And I hear him. He's like, what? He goes like, I told Corporal, I'm like, yo, he told me I just told him I'm in the push-up position. Told him, he's like, okay. That's all I told him. And I gave him the phone right away. And he goes, yes, for Sergeant. He's like, I don't know what he's saying. He's like, I don't know, for Sergeant. He's in a push-up position for some reason. He's such a stupid actor. I don't know why. He should have just said, yeah, I'm in the push-up. He's in the push-up position. And then he was like, he's like, good. Tell him to stay there, whatever. And then till I call you back. And then he hangs out. And I said, what did he say? He's like, he told him to stay there till he calls back. That's First Sergeant is nuts, man. But then he called back, and he yelled at Corporal. I forgot that Corporal. He yelled at him because after they hung up, he's like, "Man, you got me in trouble for no." And he yelled at that Corporal and said, like, you know, because there was no NCO looking after me. I never had stats. I told you, Staff Sergeant, the Armory Chief was my NCO, my next in line. Who was in charge of me, but him being the Army Chief, he doesn't have any subordinates, you know, to look after me. Under him to look after me. It was just basically a PFC and a Staff Sergeant that had direct contact, and it's not supposed to be like that. Technically, it's supposed to have PFC. Lance corporals and corporals, and then Staff Sergeant. It goes up the chain of commands. If I have a problem, right, I gotta talk to my.
Yeah, I feel like if your maturity level's there, then that shouldn't be.
It was, and that's what it was. That's what it was with my whole career. Almost my whole career was like that, especially before I became an NCO. Which I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it was, I think, a little easier than some people. You know, because I've seen other people who are, especially infantry, they had to parade rest with lance corporals. When they,
I'm cool.
Infantry is a different.
Yeah. If you're in that realm,
it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a little different. Okay, just because it's stuff that, you know, that they had to do on a daily basis. You know, you
gotta listen. You gotta listen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like their type of job field, like a wrong move could get you killed for real.
It will get you killed. Yeah. And
that's why I understand the madness behind.
It's very understandable. Yeah, I see it. You could tell who were infantry. The gun bunnies, like the artillery guys, they were somewhat like very strict too. Though they were very strict on each other. Yeah. They took it as if they were like grunts, kind of, but like the gun bunnies, because they were always out in the field. Yeah, the arty guys, and they always, you know, so. You know, they're shooting the big guns from afar, but they held it pretty strict from what I saw, how they treated it. Not as strict as infantry though.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Because you gotta think it's like a 4-man team manning a artillery gun, right? The 7.77. Was it a 4-man or 6-man? I don't remember.
It's more. There's like, you ever get your cherry pop? You ever pop your cherry?
So that's one thing I kind of regret. I never got to shoot.
Oh, you never did?
Never.
No, I did it early on.
Oh, lucky.
So what I mean by pop my cherry,
yeah,
is what they call artillery. No matter what MOS you are, whatever. If you're a part of the artillery battery, you know, artillery group, when you go out to the field with them, you get to
yank the cord,
or you know, work the gun too. You know, and I did it once. But I worked the gun before. I mean, I did that more. I popped it once, and I was like, okay, okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't know everything. I mean, just being just working, just being on that crew of the artillery is fucking a lot of work, bro. A lot, and it's crazy. It's intense. Fire mission. They get it over the hook. Once you hear fire mission, everyone just jumps because you're just chilling. You're chilling in the field, and you're doing whatever, snacking or shooting the shit, smoking cigarettes, and if you hear over the radio, over the hooks, fire mission, then everyone jumps up, gets on the gun, guesses their positions. Whether there's going to be a truck with a bunch of ammo, different type of artillery rounds, and then you got your big artillery gun, whichever, the 777s or the one before that, and you got the loader, the person who shoves the the ammo in afterwards after you
Yeah.
load it, and then it's like there's this whole thing, and I would just do the harder part, which is just carry the ammo from the truck to the gun, so the person could load it. I was just the extra hand,
Yeah.
which was cool. I was participating, and it was an experience. I liked it. However, what is crazy, it is a lot of work, and it's when they pull the string, man, you better have your earplugs in. You better
Oh,
fucking have
yeah.
your earplugs in. And it's a big fucking boom. I shot a 50 cal sniper rifle before,
Ooh.
and that's like a mini artillery gun.
Yeah.
Bunch of smoke. I mean, like gas, not smoke. I mean, not gas. Dust. You can see like after, because there's a lot of power. This artillery gun is like, I don't know, maybe 1,000, 100 times,
I don't know.
100,000 times. I don't know. It's fucking huge.
It's huge. Yeah.
And it's just crazy. It's a great experience. But
There you go.
I think we should, we should. You gotta head out soon too, right?